My name is Marty Sullivan. I'm 83 years old. I'm a veteran. January 2nd, I went on board the USS Strong. So I get there late at night. I didn't realize we were deckhands. And that's true. All you do is mop down the deck. Mop down the deck and everything like that. And shortly after that, they said, okay, we got to load up food, which is also a trip. You go down, you walk down a gangplank to the dock, and you carry on everything. Being one of the smallest guys on the ship, there were two of us this size. They used to love to put 50-pound bag of potatoes on our shoulder. All right, climb it up the gangplank. You are breaking your back getting up there, but you're not going to refuse it. So we got up there, and the little guy was with me. You know, I call little guy, who's the same size. I said, we got to find something to do. He says, why don't we stagger behind somebody and see if there's something different? Well, the boatswain mate wasn't watching us, but then he watched us when we walked by the second time. We were carrying 10-pound bags of onions. Everybody else was carrying 50 pounds of potatoes. We found the onions, and we carried them on board. And he didn't get mad. He got mad, but he liked it. He says, at least you guys are thinking. He says, I didn't have a pack of idiots, so now your job, get all the onions on board. Oh, I found out, it said, how do I get off of this job? And one of the guys says, well, you see in the midships, they got the bulletin boards? Yeah, he says, well, look and see if there's something there you might like. If there's an opening, put in for it. And I found something. I says, this fire control, this looks good. I asked somebody what it was, and they took me over to the gun mount, and they showed me. I said, hey, okay, I can do that. So I applied for it, and I got the job. The idea of when you first going into, like for instance, you first go into your first combat, you got to remember now, when you come out of boot camp, you're invincible. You're made of steel. Nothing is going to kill you. Nothing's going to hurt you. And you hear the shells going, and sometimes your ship gets hit. We never got hit real serious, but we did get hit. You're firing the guns. Now you have no idea where these shells are going because you're down below decks. But you've got your targets and you're shooting at them. And after a while, it's almost like a game because you don't see anything, you know. And then we find out there's another part to this. So what would happen was, the next time they call for combat, you may not be down with the computers. You may be down what they call main battery control. You might be sitting on top of the pilot house in a metal box, a big metal box that maybe 2 people could get inside, and these huge binoculars. And you would look through the binoculars at the targets, and you could actually, because it was your job to call the target, what we were doing was we were firing on this hill because we had Republic of Korea troops at the top of the hill, and moving up the hill was the enemy, and they needed help. So we had to shell them, and that was my job. I'm up there, you know, we're firing, and nothing's happened, nothing's working. So we get it, all of a sudden this squawk box, you get a squawk box there, it calls, you know, and I'm looking, and the officer says, officer who was there with me, he says, yes, sir, okay, hold on a minute. He hands me the microphone. He says, the captain. The captain? I don't know what the hell he looks like, you know, the captain. So I said, what's the problem? He says, what are you seeing out there? I said, well, when you're firing, the minute you start firing, the enemy goes back in their foxholes. So he said, let me ask you a question. What do you see up there that'll solve this? So I remember to this day, I can remember saying, sir, I said, you got any airplanes in the area? No Navy planes, they've all gone back. I said, well, the only thing we got left is white phosphorus, right? We call Willie Peter, you know. He says, yeah. I said, let's march up from the bottom of the hill, march up to the top with phosphorus, and fire the phosphorus in the foxholes.